Why does negative things often impact us more than positive? Why is it that when we get one bad comment and 9 compliments, we tend to think and focus on the negative one? It's a defense or survival mechanism. We don't have to worry about things that are non-threatening. Since the physical is finite and has an end, survival is prioritized by the ego. An example is being surrounded by 100 animals and 99 are not harmful, but one is a venomous snake. Which one are you going to give attention to most? This is physical survival, but the mental aspects work similarly. Everything exists like a gradient to teach us how to exercise discernment. If the gradient was filled with just one option, the ability to choose wouldn't exist. We have individualized free will in combination with the ability to choose. With so many options to choose from, it's effectively providing ample opportunities to learn about our choices and what we are at the core. Variety and diversity creates a stage to display our love and wisdom. Loving all the differences of the gradient eventually amounts to unconditional love. Zoom out to see the bigger whole. Are you focused on the single aspects, or see that they all make up one gradient? The other brings context to the other. Hot wouldn't be hot without cold. Dark wouldn't be dark without light. Up wouldn't be up without down. Higher frequencies wouldn't be higher without the lower frequencies. To know what serves you, you must also know what doesn't serve you. To know why you're here and where you're headed is to know where you came from by realizing what you are at the deepest level. Seek to get back to the source point within. Any limitations or restrictions are a byproduct of the ego. As it runs on a program of references, you can get a glimpse of how it operates by raising consciousness to the point of piercing through its veil. By nature, we are unlimited and infinite, which means all possibilities are possible. Nothing is original here and is merely being accessed and manifested. So if you are able to imagine it, then it already exists in the universe. By nature, we don't think at all. Thinking is a human aspect, but not of the spirit. This is why thinking can be draining or feeling dense, while being present and aware is relaxing. Operating at a body consciousness level may feel heavy, while operating at a higher consciousness level may feel lighter. To align with the higher self around the clock is to maintain a meditative state, a healthy detachment from the body. Be aware the physical environment exists, but do not operate at that level of consciousness. The ego is sort of the character you're playing. It's like an extension of the whole, the higher self. The purpose is to expand or grow by experiencing a different perspective of itself. That's why it can be challenging, as it's completely new, and the objective is to realign with the whole. One can get lost by the immersion of the egoic identity, which is going further away, or being misaligned from the higher self. Use the ego to navigate back, rather than be enticed with its embodiment. Self-realization or enlightenment is knowing you are much more than the ego, body, mind. We lose ourselves just to rediscover ourselves. We forget just to remember again. This pattern of expansion and contraction is how the soul evolves. The body and mind have to be commanded from something else, as they're both just tools. If they're not being consciously commanded, then the next in line is the subconscious mind, which runs by how it's been programmed. An awakening is just consciousness coming back online and overriding the programmed software. The lessons will be continuously presented in a variety of ways. To ensure one clicks, there's an infinite amount of scenarios, and one will inevitably wake you up. Reframe perspective with your higher self, rather than the human form. Technically, everything is designed as it, so you can recognize them as limiting forces. Do you feel natural being restricted or being free? If you can recognize what you are not, then the opposite end of the spectrum is what you are. One end wouldn't be what it is without the contrast of the other. How would you know what hot is if you don't know what cold is? How would you know what you are if you don't know what you are not? How would you know why you're having a human experience if you never realized you aren't actually human? So the fundamental question is asked, who? What are you and why are you here? To answer any fundamental question is to look within and know thyself at the core beyond the body, mind, and ego. This can be an extremely difficult process if there's strong attachments and identification with the physical world. But rest assured that you are completely fine, untouched, and intact when you rediscover your true self. Everything is energy, so depression is lack of energy at the source, as it's been attached to external things, mostly thoughts. When energy is attached to everything except the self, it will naturally drain, which results in feeling empty and tired. To regenerate and make this energy grow at the source, clear the mind of thoughts and be present and sustain this meditative state until healed. Anytime an intrusive thought pops up, energy will go there. So it's about recognizing where your energy is going, so you can consciously choose to not give it power and let it remain at the source, on you. Everyone is a puppet, but some just look up, seize the strings, and break free. The analogy is that we all are under the control of our egoic mind until we come to a self-realization that we can choose to detach from it and make choices on our own. When you feel stuck, try this energy release. Start saying these words, I don't know and I don't care. The I don't know resets the mental body, and the I don't care resets the emotional body. The I don't care simply means to not have a vested interest in a specific outcome, which leads to expectations and is another form of energy attachment. To free yourself and be liberated is to be in a complete state of non-attachment. When energy isn't attached to anything, it rests at the source point, on you, starting the natural self-healing process. The body, mental, physical, emotional, always wants to heal. But thinking about trauma interferes with the process. To counteract this is to be present as it's effortless. Thinking itself requires effort as energy, as to be expended in order to do it. Just be here right now. Judgments or expectations is the thinking mind being activated again, so when they rise, get back into the here and now. Breathe deeply and get into a state of relaxation. The only moment you're tending to is the present, not the events in your mind. Tell yourself, I don't know and I don't care, but I'm here right now, and that's all that matters. Repeat this mantra until stress and anxiety withers away.